Hey, namaste everybody. I hope you're keeping good, and I hope you're keeping in that higher place, that higher frequency, no matter what life is thrown at you, because life can throw some tough bones at you at the best of times. Been a tough couple of weeks. I'm not going to lie to you, but the harder I get knocked down, the faster I bounce back up. And this is not even a coping technique. I don't know, it's not even a coping technique. It's just something that is innate within me. I don't think it's something that I can teach. I can teach all of my coping strategies, all of my coping techniques for pain management, for getting past the really grueling, gritty nights and days of complex regional pain syndrome pain and functional neurological disorder pain, along with lymphangiectasia. I can never say that word properly. Lymphangiectasia pain, which is a stomach disease. CRPS and FND are both very rare and chronic. They're classed as autoimmune and nervous system diseases, and they're always lifelong diseases, but you can go into remission, these periods called remission, and I haven't had a remission period for well over 2 years now. I think it's 2.5 years. I keep losing count. I'll try and work it out. I think it's been about 2.5 years since I had a remission period. Right, a remission period is when you never go all the way down to zero pain, but you come down to your baseline, or sometimes even lower than your baseline, for a certain amount of time before it quite often comes back. And usually a small injury can trigger a recurrence, or a recurrence of the flares, right? Like another flare period. This latest flare period has lasted, like I say, about 2.5 years. Before that, I was okay. Well, I was in lots of pain. Whenever I say I'm okay, or baseline, it's about 30 out of 50 on the Mcgill Pain Scale Indicator. 35 is childbirth. So my baseline is just below childbirth. But that pain is nothing to me now. I know this sounds crazy, but that's nothing to me. It's incredible how you adapt. And I've had so many people, so many friends, family members, and people on this channel, and also just friends and people who have cared for me over the years, saying, I couldn't do what you're doing. No way. If I had what you had, I couldn't do it. Well, you don't know that until something like this happens to you. I would have been one of those people who said, if that happened to me, God, that horrible disease, like CRPS alone, it's type 2, don't forget. So it's like type 2 is 47 out of 50. The flares are 47 out of 50 on the Mcgill Pain Scale Indicator. That's as high. 47 is almost as high as human torture. But with FND, functional neurological disorder, my pain goes up to 50 during flares. That is higher than human torture. Human torture is about 49, 48, 49. But anybody who's got CRPS, and I know that there's people with CRPS on this channel as subscribers, you will know it is torture, because it lasts for so long. The flare periods can last many, many years, especially in the chronic stage. And some of the information that is falsely put out there by people who have no idea what they're talking about often say that these are like the regular doctor's leaflets that they give out, that they get from America, by the way, because it says RSD, not CRPS. So that's how you can tell it's American. It's either American or it's over 15 or 20 years old, because many, many years ago now, they changed the name from RSD to CRPS. It used to be called reflex sympathetic dystrophy, but they changed the name because they said it wasn't accurate. Well, in my opinion, CRPS is not accurate because it isn't just a pain disorder. It hits you on every single front. But you know what? This is a positive message, and it's one say this is giving you some. Any of you who know people, any of you who are family members, who have a brother or a sister or a mum or a dad or a son or a daughter who is suffering with acute stage or chronic stage CRPS type 1 or type 2, or any pain disorder or any disease that gives you chronic pain and debilitation. Here's some incredible hope for you all. And I'm not sure whether this is innate or whether this is something that I've learned, but the harder this knocks me down, it's like there's a saying, right? The harder that you hit the ground, the higher you bounce back up, right? Or the faster you bounce back up. The harder this hits me, the faster and the higher I bounce back. And it's done its best to put me down, and it has, it's steamrolled me down many a times. I've had flares that have freaked my sister out so much that she's phoned an ambulance. That was only 2 days ago. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you something. I've worked out a way that I can do this. 1 second. I'm going to show you what my last week has been like. It's been crazy. I'm going to try and see if I can do this. Right. See if I can get a good view of this. Right. So if you look at the date, I'm going to try and hold this steady. That was the 2nd of December. Right. Same day, 2nd of December. Look how it changes. Same day. Look at how that foot's completely changed. Same day. Same day. This is the third. So this one, this is a hand flare. So this, my finger's flaring. I'm trying to hold this camera still. That is the third, the same day. That's my thumb. So bear in mind, I don't know if you can see that clear enough, but half of the nail is normal colour, and half of the cuticle is blue, like a blue purpley colour. That's an indication. That's not just that you've got cold hands. That's an indication that it's CRPS. When it's just your cuticles, that's how it starts, and then your whole nail turns. But for some reason, it's always the cuticle first. Okay, this is the same day, the 3rd of September. Sorry, the 3rd of December. Just trying to get this camera aligned. It's very difficult to do this. Same day. 1 second. Let me just get back on this. Right. It's very difficult. I'm going to have to find a better way of doing this. Right. Okay. So we're getting to the 7th of December. Okay. I don't know how well you can see that. Just how much is changing. That's the 8th of December. That's the same day. Look how much has changed. And that's the same day. Just a slightly different time. That's the same day. The 8th of December. Okay, this is where it spread to my knees and my legs. Don't know how well you can see that from this picture. 9th of December. That's the 9th of December when it flared my foot. See, this is how fast it can change with CRPS. You can look like you're getting better 1 second, and then literally a minute later, it can blow up like this. Now look at the left foot on this picture on the 9th of December, and then look at the right one. Now look at the left foot on this one. Just 1 day later, it looks like I've broken and smashed up both my legs, both my feet, and broken all of my toes. Look at the difference of the skin colour between my arm, which is the same colour as my feet usually. Same day. Oh no, sorry, that's the 10th. That's on the 10th. Not doing a very good job at this, right? That's the 10th. Now can you see this? That's the bottom of my foot on the 10th. Right, now this is the 11th. I've got my arm up to show you what colour my skin on my feet usually is. There we go, I've got it. I think. Is that better? Oh, right. Okay, so you get the idea. Just going to go to one or two more pictures. Right, so check this out. That's better if I do it this way. Right, watch this. This is the 8th of December. Now look at my ankle. Look at the colour of it. But look at the swelling on the ankle. Okay? Same day, then the knees start flaring. You see that? And the legs. Right? Same day. And then suddenly the whole leg. It's just literally a few minutes later or an hour later. Right? The 10th, that's the next day, the day after. Now, that's the 9th. That's the 10th. The colour of that. Incredible. How does any disease do this to you? And how does it change so fast? 10th of December, the same day. Just a slightly different time. 10th of December, same day. Now, this is crazy. I'm going to work out a better way of doing this. See, I can't transfer the photographs from this phone to the one that the other one that I'm using now to record this video. This is the 11th of December. Okay. 10th of December. This is the beginning of a hand flare. So it starts off. That's a knee flare. The coloration difference in this, and look at the inflammation. So your body sends inflammatory markers. Now check out the hand on that. That's the 11th of December. That's a hand flare. The beginning of one. And then it goes bright red, like fire. They call it fiery red. Okay. And then it's just the next day, the following day. Yeah, you can pause these, like, if you want to look at them, but it's just, and this, by the way, this is a stomach flare. I'll show you, I'm usually like, so yeah, there's a little bit of fat down there, but it's relatively flat tummy, right? This happened within 10 minutes of drinking liquid food. 10 minutes. 11th of December. Right? And now I'm going to fast forward a bit. Right, this is where the flares are getting worse, a lot worse. Okay. This is my regular hands, right, in between flares. Okay. 13th of December. But then check this out, the same day. If you rewind that back and just double check the times, right? Just minutes or an hour later. Look at that. It looks like someone's peeled all the skin off my hand. And that's the swelling on both ankles. So it's like double ankle flare. And that's my left foot, which used to be my good foot. Full CRPS flare. And this was, I believe, yesterday, or was it today? This was this morning. And this was this morning. And this was this morning. Can you see how the flares are really getting worse now? I mean, that doesn't even look like a foot, does it? And then it hit both my feet. That was at 1:20 this morning, 1:20 a.m. And this was, I didn't get the time marker on that one, but that was again this morning. And that was this morning. How it just changes. It's just crazy. And by the way, you never know what part of you is going to flare. You never know when it's going to happen. There's no warning anymore. I used to get like pins and needles, like a tingling feeling in my right foot, and it would start there, and then it would shoot into my left leg, and then shoot up my spine and then radiate through my whole body. This is why I've not been uploading any videos. So this is just one to say, any of you out there who are suffering with CRPS or anything similar to this, you've got to be ready for anything, right? But expect the best, never expect the worst. And even when the worst happens, know that there's going to be a better day, always. And CRPS, as chronic as it gets, after 14 and a half years of me having it, and as severe as these flares get, you kind of, I know this sounds weird, but you kind of get used to the pain. And any of you who have only had CRPS for the first or second year, or even the third year, you're still going to be going through absolute hell on earth and thinking, how on earth can I survive this? Right? That's natural. God, you're going through the worst pain that a human being can possibly experience, right? But know that you can survive this, right? I've not only survived this, but depending on what you're, like I often say, I'm not surviving, I'm thriving. That means, so if you're good here, if you're strong here, and you're strong here, then you can survive pretty much anything. And even CRPS takes, I haven't had a CRPS-free day or night for a long, long time. A few weeks now. They've been long weeks, but I've been getting the odd 3 or 4 hours, sometimes 5. Yesterday I got about 5 or 6 hours. I could have been 7 hours, 6 or 7 hours, until the flare began. And then it started about 2 o'clock, 2:30 yesterday afternoon, and it finished, just suddenly went away. This morning at round about 9:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30. And my pain score now is baseline, which is 30 out of 50, which compared to 50 out of 50, is nothing. Broken bone pain is around about 20, I think it's 20 actually. I need to double check the Mcgill Pain Score Indicator, but you can just Google the Mcgill Pain Score Indicator CRPS, and I believe it's an NHS. If you Google NHS Mcgill Pain Score Indicator, this video is running on a bit. NHS Mcgill Pain Score Indicator CRPS, and you'll be able to see it shows you fibromyalgia. That's up there about 30 or 35, and then CRPS type 1 starts at 42, and type 2 starts at 47, and it goes up to 50. But they really need to create a new chart, a new scale, because I think really they need to do it with 60 to accommodate for CRPS FND. When you get the double trouble, the flares are just so much worse than having regular CRPS on its own. But when the going gets tough, you know it. The tough get going. So, and when you can rise above it, when you can rise above this, you can rise yourself above anything. When you've conquered this, you've conquered the world, you've conquered the universe. When you can say, I've handled this, and I've handled this for 14 and a half years, I'm going strong, and I'm getting more, not less positive, but more positive, even when the flares are getting worse, that's when you know that you've cracked it. Okay? And I am sharing through these videos all of my techniques, but I do believe there is some kind of innate character trait that I've got about me where I just don't bloody give up. And it's not just I'm a fighter, it's more than that. It's a burning passion. Pardon the pun. Yeah, you feel like you're on fire when you're having a flare, literally. But it's a burning desire, it's a burning passion to serve humanity and to help other people. And this is why I'm here. This is my life purpose at this time. So stay strong, keep positive. I know this video's run on, but there will be, I'm going to try and do videos as and when I can. and that's all I can do. I can't promise anything because these flares have been hitting hard and fast, like never before. So I'm doing my best. Big love to all of you. Big love. And there will be more spiritual teachings. I know this is veered more into, it's veered kind of away from the spiritual teachings and into the CRPS awareness. But that's because my whole life trajectory has forced me onto this path, right, with flares from hell. So this is mostly a supportive video for the ones of you that I know have CRPS who are watching this, and the ones who are just going through, I don't know, regular arthritic pain or whatever. Don't forget, everything's relative. The worst pain for me is no worse than the worst pain for you. Even if that's just a migraine and you've never injured yourself, you've never had anything else wrong with you, but you get these migraines, right? That's your worst pain. That to you will be 10 out of 10 or 50 out of 50 using the Mcgill. The worst pain that you've ever had, that you've ever felt, that you can ever imagine. So it's relative. Okay, stay strong, stay safe, and big love. One love. Namaste.